Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. I have another installment to roll out of the stay-at-home free download song lessons with a $13 donation. It is 15 songs, and this is the Cameo / Whispers collection. Now, technically, it's 14 of the two. The last one, number 15, is Careless Whispers by George Michael, the late George Michaels. Rest in peace. So I'm going to read them off to you. But first I'm going to say this because I say this in every video. Because it's important. People don't know what they don't know. Now these are free 15 song lessons. Or 15 free song lessons. And one might say, well, Morris, man, if we got to give you $13, it ain't free. Trust me, it's free. The donation is for the time and effort that I have to put in here to send you guys emails. I usually send 2 emails of these particular groups. And I have a tabbing service. My tabbing service is $15 a song, 2 song minimum. If I were to tab these 15 songs for you guys, it'd be $225. So trust me, it's free. Now one might ask, well, instead of you just sending us the email, how about just set up a Dropbox so we can get it for free? Well, the problem with that is Dropbox isn't free. And I don't want to pass on any additional cost to you guys. And I'm not trying to acquire or incur any unnecessary charges or expenses. So I just do it the old-fashioned way. Send you guys the email, 2 emails once you submit your $13 donation. My PayPal information is right here. Now what you might want to do, because I just noticed this, because unfortunately the pandemic is screwing up and slowing down a lot of things, is I've just noticed about 3 days ago, say for instance you send me payment, and once you send me payment, PayPal send me email saying, hey, you got money. So then what I do is I go into that email, click on it, take me to PayPal, or pull up your account or the transaction. Then I cut and paste your email address into an email with these songs, 2 emails. So what has happened the last 2 days? Sorry about that. Testing. I got to replace this. So what has happened the last couple of days is they will send me the email as soon as you submit payment. But once I go into PayPal to, pull up the transaction and get ready to send you guys, your download, it's not been posted yet. I was like, I know somebody just sent me payment because I got an email. So again, I believe that's due to, the shortage of manpower in this pandemic. So to speed this up, because what I have to do now is wait like 2 to 3 hours before it posts. Even though you've paid me at 1 o'clock, it won't post to 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So what you guys want to do at this point is once you submit payment, in the message box, which I've already mentioned, please state what bundle you want or what group, because I've had people send me donations and I look in it and it doesn't tell me what free songs listings do they want. So please include that. So when you include that in the notice box, also put in your email address. So when PayPal send me that email and I open it up, that information is already right in here. So I don't have to go to PayPal and wait 2 hours for the transaction to post to then get your email address from that. So put that in the message box, Let's say, for instance, yeah, Morris, man, here's my $13 for the Cameo / Whispers free songs. Here's my email address right here, too. So once you do that, I can just cut and paste that and then send it to you immediately. As soon as I get that email from PayPal, I can send you your donation, or should I say your songs, free songs. But if you don't, I have to wait 2 hours until they post it. So here's the list. Cameo. Why Have I Lost You? That's one of the most requested songs from people, from you guys, to say, man, when it comes to Cameo songs, say, man, you got to show us how to play that, and I'll show you how to play it. Because it's a beautiful song with a lot of beautiful chord progressions. Number 2, Smile. Number 3, Feel Me. Love that song. Number 4, Shake Your Pants. Number 5, Throw It Down. Number 6, You're a Winner. Love that song. Kind of has a jazzy feel to it. Number 7, Freaky Dancing. There's only one chord in that song, and I give you that chord right now. And I'll leave it down here in song in the listing too. It's E minor 7. That's all the guitar player does. Okay, Find My Way. Very nice song. It's one of the funnest Cameo songs to play. As far as developing good syncopation and strumming techniques, because I have people that always ask me, what's the strumming pattern on that? Comes out of here, buddy. when you first start to learn how to play guitar, they give you that down, up, down, up, down, up, on the arrows on the notation. It's like, man, forget this. I'm coming from here. I'm feeling the song. It's a very feeling song. Feel the rhythm, So, number 9, which is the Whisper songs, just get better with time. I got nothing but praise for the Whispers. If someone were to ask me, who is your all-time favorite singing group? Easy, the Whispers. They've been cranking out hits for 30 plus years. The same person now. I think one of the keys to their success is obvious. They're very talented singers and entertainers, but second of all, great writers and productions. I commend them because in the music industry, sometimes you have to make adjustments to stay alive. And the Whispers refuse to compromise, the integrity of their music. Because I'm going to give you a good example. And I'm not going to say the artist's name because it's many of them. And it's not to call them out. They're just trying to survive and eat. This particular person came onto the scene in the 90s. He was actually in 2 bands. And then he went solo. And him and one of the other guys from that second band started doing production for other artists, And he had kind of their own kind of signature groove sound. Then about 4 years later, he went from innovator to follower. He changed his physical appearance, which was kind of a youthful looking appearance. It's like you in your 40s and you kind of looking like the dudes that are just coming on the scene that in their 20s. 2 different categories. You lose your original base when you jump ship to follow the current trend. It's only going to be around for 3 years. So I give a lot of credit to the Whispers because they never did that. They didn't change their wardrobe and look like they 20 years younger and, accepting songs that should be sang by 25-year-old dudes when they 50, So got a lot of respect for those guys. And let me just mention this and then I'll move on because, this is a story I can only share regarding this. The Whispers, the 2 lead singers are the twins. And it brings back a good memory in my childhood when my father passed away. I'll never forget it. My mother got a call from his job and they said he had a heart attack at work and he died. So the guy that taught me how to drive a car, I went to a driver's school, paid, have somebody teach me. Because my older brother's like, I ain't let you get in my ride. My father was no longer with us. So I paid to have someone, teach me. And the guy looks like a twin of the twins. This guy looked just like the guys from the Whispers. And, I hope that he's listening. Most likely he's not, but I just want to say thank you because this is what he did for me. He taught me how to drive. And he also exposed me to the BS in the company because this is how it works. I already kind of knew how to drive, It's just that I didn't have my license. I'm like, I got to make sure that I'm doing everything right before I go up there. So I enlisted the help of, a driving school. So I already kind of came in knowing how to drive. I'm like, I just got to really tighten it up so I can go get my license. So I took about 4 lessons. He said, man, you ready? I'll take you down there, tomorrow to the DMV and you get your license. So on the last day of the lesson or the last lesson, I came out to the car and there was another dude in the car. I'm like, what's this about? And it was his boss. And his boss said, we just want to make sure that you're ready, blah, blah, blah. So I went, driving. And I wasn't nervous because I'm like, I already know how to drive. Just, want to make sure that I'm doing everything right. So then he said, well, after evaluating your lessons, or your test today, I think, you might be, good for another 3-4 lessons. And I'm like, I know I don't need no more and I'm not paying no more. So I got out the car and then the guy called me back later, my instructor said, man, this is what they do. They want to keep milking this and milking this. You ready? I will take you tomorrow, And he took me down there. I got 100 on the road and the written test, So I'm like, I know I was ready. He's like, yeah, you're ready, man. But that's what they do. And I appreciate the fact that he pulled me to the side and told me that because he could have just said, yeah, well, you do need about 3 more lessons and follow, the scam that they run at that company. But, he had enough honesty and integrity about what he did was to be honest with me. So I just want to say thank you, man, because there's just some things you don't forget. And I never forget that. So forgive me for digressing. I just had to stick that in there because there'll be no other time that I can share that story and the contents of what I'm talking about. So getting back, so number 9, Just Get Better with Time. That's a beautiful song. I enjoy playing that song. A lot of great chord progressions. Do They Turn You On? Another great song. Olivia. I never knew until years later, and you know where I'm about to go with this, what that song was talking about. You know, and it was talking about a prostitute. And I'm like, this is a good example of you can take your words in a very positive words manner and talk about something that's not necessarily positive, you know, because there was nothing, you know, derogatory about the way that they told the story, the words, nothing, you know, and this is a good example of that. You know, it's like, whoa, didn't know that until somebody said, no, listen to the lyrics, man. Lost and Turned Out, you know. I can't try to get in here. Okay, number 12, It's a Love Thing. Great song. Production by the guy from the Silvers. The bass player. I keep forgetting his name. Silvers. Leon Silvers. Okay, Say Yes. Beautiful song. In the Mood, which I think was actually produced by Babyface in LA. Number 15 is again Careless Whispers by George Michael. So you get 15 free songs. So as you submit your $13 donation, please put in the message box your email address so I can send it to you immediately. You know, you're only as good as what you can play. And when you play good songs with good chord progressions, you become a better player instead of just 2 chords rocking back and forth, -7, which is what you hear a lot of today in R&B songs. But I'm not blaming the artist because the record company does not want 20 guys working on one album like it used to be back in the day. It used to be 20 to 40 to 50 people. They would bring people in, bring in a real string section. Now they want 2 guys to put together the whole album and have pay those 2 guys and call it a day and move on. You know, so it's not the artist's fault. It's just that's what the record company wants at this time, this era, you know. And I thank God I grew up in the era that it was not that. It was like, okay, we ain't worried about trying to just, you know, half pay people. We bring in the best of the best and put together the best product for you guys. So please save these to your PC once you get them. Don't wait tomorrow or the week later because I have to delete these files every 24 hours to free up memory space. If I don't, I can't send any more emails because it becomes full. So when you get them today, save them to your computer today. Then you're all good. Also, again, in the notice messenger box, please put what specific group of songs you want, you know, and put your email address in there. Also, PayPal is the only form of payment, unfortunately, at this time. I'm not set up for Google Wallet, and not set up for Cash App, so please keep that in mind. You'll be getting 2 emails, you know, once you submit your donation. With these songs, it'd be like 7, you know, half or whatever. So that's it. Please stay at home. You know, stay at home. Become a better musician at this point. You know, you got some time, whether you want it or not, to just focus on something that you wouldn't probably normally be able to focus on because you're spending 8 to 12 hours a day at work or commuting back and forth to work. So some of us, unfortunately, are forced to stay home. Some of us can't afford to stay home, and we are essential workers. And my hat's off to the doctors, the nurses, the police officers, the firemen, and even more so the grocery store people, because if you're lucky, you won't have any interactions with a doctor or a nurse or the police or fireman. But almost every week, if not more, we encounter the people at the supermarket. You know, they get up every day and go to work, and, you know, they brave themselves out there and be exposed to God knows what on a daily basis. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you to you guys, the first responders, the mail carriers, you know, all the people that are still out there on the front lines trying to keep the society still constantly moving. So I just want to thank you guys. So again, you get these free 15 songs, $13 donation. Thought I heard my cat again. $13 donation. Testing. Sorry about that. $13 donation. You get these 15 songs, and you get them same day that you submit your donation. So until next time, take care. Thanks for watching. I just want to make sure that I did not forget anything. Okay. The list of songs are right down there. PayPal information is right down there also. Take care and stay home and stay safe. because it does save lives. Trust me. I just want to mention, you know what, I'm not even going to mention that. But until next time, take care.